Okay, last tutorial that is explaining how you're going to work on the project. Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to talk about how you're actually going to use forks. So going to your VS Code. So VS Code simplifies a lot of stuff for you already. So the only thing that you are going to have to do, the only two things that you're going to have to do is to here see that you are inside of the main range, right? And what you're going to need to do is to press on the three uh, dots for more actions. Choose branch, create branch. Choose the new branch name. Let's call it code. Right, we created a code. Really cool. And now you can see that we are inside of the code instead of the main. And now we can publish a branch. Now, yeah, here you have to choose origin. So you can see that here it shows you a link and it shows you your username and the name of the fork that you give to your fork. Okay, so you would push this change to the fork. Now what's important to understand is that you don't have to create a new upstream that is a link to the original project. It is already created for you by the GitHub. So the moment you opened a folder that is a fork of something, it already created a different origin point for you. So you can see when I made my push to the server, I had an option of upstream and origin. So everything is already done for you. So you only have to do two things. You just go to branch and create a new branch, and then you're going to need to go to checkout to and select the branch that you want to be on, right? So it can either be main or it can be code. Really simple. Now, the thing that you're going to do is inside of the code, you're actually going to make changes, right? So let's say you want to make a change to our main README file and say instead of glabs, you want to make it glabs or something. We made our change. Now let's say someone else also decided to make a change. Let's say Jason decided to make a glabs, okay? So would you know that he did it? Or would you know that in our main repository, in our main repository, there is something like that going on? You probably wouldn't. I mean, in this demonstration, it's inside of the main README file, but in the real project that we are going to work on, it is, there are millions files, not million, but like there are a lot of files that you have to go through to make sure that everything is okay and you won't have any conflicts. But you're not going to have that luxury, okay? So what will happen is that here, going to source control, you're going to make your changes. You're going to press to save the changes that you made. Then you're going to commit them. Let's say demonstration. Okay, commit the changes. Now, what you're going to need to do after you saved your changes that you did in your code branch is to switch to the main branch. You can see when I'm on the main branch, I don't have glabs, I have only glabs, right? I can demonstrate it again. So check out to code branch, and I have something different here. Okay. So why did we create it a separate branch? Oh my God. Okay. Because as you can see, now we have a conflict, right? In our main repository, we have one thing, and you just did another thing. So what you would do, you would go to your main branch, you would use this thing, fetch from all remotes. And then you would press on 3 buttons, and then you would do pull. Yeah, you would want to fetch from upstream. I thought that all remotes includes upstream. You want to pull. Yeah, okay. So here it is. You're going to need to choose pull, pull, pull from, and choose upstream. So now you can see that on your main branch, you have glab CSS that is representative of what we have in our main repo. And under the code, you have your own changes. So now what you're going to do locally is you're going to need to press on the 3 dots, and you're going to need to merge 2 branches. Okay, so you would have to go to the branch where to which you want to merge another branch to. So you're going to need to go to main branch. Then you're going to need to choose branches, merge, choose the code branch, and now you can see that you have this message of, oh, there is a conflict, right? So the only way you can see, and you can see within the hundreds of files that we're actually going to work with, and be sure that the stuff you are pushing to the main branch, or sorry, main repo is going to be correct, is by doing what I'm showing you. Okay, so you have the current change and the incoming change. Okay, so the current change is what we have in our original. So you can tell that it is a current change because it's inside of the main branch. The incoming change is a change from our code. It even says here. So now what you're going to need to do is to choose what you actually want to have. So let's say I want to have glabs, okay? So I would remove this, I would remove this, I would remove this, and I would remove this. Right? I'm only going to leave what I want it there to be. So all the additional stuff is going to be removed. Then I would save it and resolve. Right? You can see that it is resolved like this. So this is what we have in the main, this is what we have in the code, this is how we decided to resolve the issue. We complete the merge. Uh, Oh, the conflict was that we had additional space that we didn't have originally. Okay, complete. So now you can see everything is okay, and now we can commit the changes. Now we would, inside of the main, we would string the changes. The action would be pushed to the origin main. Okay. Now basically what happened is that inside of our fork, we push it to our fork, and now after we are 100% sure that everything is okay and we can interact with original repo properly, we would create a pull request. Demonstration 2. So basically, you can see that it is uploaded. We have glabs. Oh no, we have a pull request, right? Then we will go to that pull request. You can see that this pull request is completely compatible. And the reason why it is compatible, okay, if you did what we did in the example 3, lesson 3, or whatever video 3, you wouldn't have this no conflicts message. You would actually have some conflicts going on, right? So we don't want to have any conflicts whenever you're pushing to the main repo. And the way we are mitigating any conflicts is by having two branches, main branch and code branch. On the code branch, we have our changes. In the main branch, we have changes on the main repo, right? Then we would see if our changes are okay with the main repo, and if they are okay, right? So if okay, then we would send it to the original repo and tell, hey main repo, my changes I made are completely okay with the changes on your side, right? So hey, could you please apply them to your side? This is basically what is going on, and this is basically how people do the open source, right? So they would do the same thing we just did. So complete the merge, and after the merge, you can see that we have glabs like we had in the fork that we just had. Okay, so that was it. Thank you. And I would appreciate if you did the same pull request, ran the demo, and not only watched it, but actually did it. Okay, thank you.